So we brought it to you yesterday that Abramovich wants to sell Chelsea. He's actually released an official statement last night. He said it's been an incredibly difficult decision and it pains him. And any loan he's given to the club won't need to be repaid. And he essentially wants to get rid of Chelsea quickly. I think he wanted to sell Chelsea, according to reports, since what happened in Salisbury in 2018 with the Skiffles. And he has said that all net proceeds of the sale will go to the victims of the war in Ukraine. He values it around 3 billion. Some analysts are saying he might get 2.5 billion, and he's put 1.5 billion in, so there might not be much left actually. And he said he's taken the decision in the best interest of the club, but I've got a few problems with this. So one of the reasons why is, first of all, he wants to move his money to Dubai because I think he knows he's going to get sanctioned. It's inevitably coming, so he's trying to get out. The other thing that annoys me is that the Conservative Party have been bankrolled by Russian oligarchs for quite a long time. In their election, when Boris Johnson obviously was hugely successful, lots and lots of very, very wealthy Russians bankrolled them. Why isn't that under scrutiny? Also, Man City are owned by some Emiratis. Newcastle are owned by some Saudi Arabians. Do you think that any person who's got billions of pounds in those two countries have acquired that money without having close contacts with the government, or not even government, with the regime? No, they've not. So if Abramovich has got to sell and the Russians have got to sell, why are we doing business with the Saudis? Saudi Arabia's flattened Yemen, absolutely flattened it. One of the poorest countries in the world, right? And I'm not saying it's right what Russia are doing, but like there's a lot of hypocrisy here. Same with the Emiratis. There's no democracy in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi, in Sharjah, wherever in the Emirates. There's no democracy. There's no democracy in Qatar, the owners of Paris Saint-Germain. Also, in 2003, the UK and US invaded Iraq on false intelligence. Regardless of the intelligence, they didn't have a mandate to invade Iraq. Anyway, 3 months later, the Champions League final in 2003 was held in Manchester, Old Trafford, between Juve and AC Milan. No British team or UK team was sanctioned. No British sport person was sanctioned. No one has ever been brought to account for war crimes. You know, it's garbage. There's a lot of hypocrisy going on. And I haven't got any sympathy for Russian oligarchs, because when the Soviet Union collapsed, they rinsed the country. And they enriched themselves through gas, oil, weapons sales, gangsterism, cronyism, obviously. But who's profited from this? The City of London, and we've profited from it. Do you not think that the price of houses are pushed up around the UK because there's houses in London that are 40 million, 80 million quid, 100 million quid? Of course they are, because that money comes into the UK exchequer. It comes into the country. That's a boon for this country. So, there's a lot of hypocrisy. I don't like Chelsea. I don't like Abramovich, but it's actually not really. It's actually very hypocritical. If Abramovich needs to go, then Sheikh Mansour needs to go. Mohammed bin Salman shouldn't be here. Other owners who've got dodgy pasts and have done business with dodgy people, which is most of them, need to go. So it's garbage. But let's see what's going to happen for Chelsea. I think he's been a great owner for Chelsea. Statistically, you can't argue with that. He's won Champions Leagues and leagues, and he's been a bit trigger happy on the managers, but you can't really argue with what he's done. Chelsea historically weren't a very successful club. They were like a historic club in terms of in London, but they weren't a massive club. Like West Ham are probably a bigger club than Chelsea. Arsenal and Tottenham definitely are. So they weren't even the biggest club in London. So what he's done is nothing short of a miracle. And he's put £1.5 billion in. The Glazier family have taken £1.5 billion out of Manchester United. So who's a good owner and who's not? So let's see what's going to happen. I think he's not going to get his £3 billion. But it's going to be interesting. But there's a lot of vitriol. And again, I don't support Chelsea. I don't like Abramovich, nor the oligarchs. But come on, let's be balanced about this. What fit and proper person test has been done on the owners of Man City or Newcastle? Come on, let's get off our high horses and just say that basically there's a lot of dirty money in the UK, and it helps our economy. So let's not get on our liberal moral high horse. Let's actually be honest about it. And if you don't know about it, do some research about it. There's a book called Kleptocracy. The guy, Financial Times writer, forget his name now. He's being sued at the moment by some oligarch or some country, and I think the case has been thrown out. And Kleptocracy, it's really interesting how this money is actually, this ill-gotten money is got, and then it's washed in England, it's washed in the UK and in Paris and in Dusseldorf. So the real, like, stealing money is one thing, but being able to wash it and clean it up into UK and European assets is really the only value that the money has. If you have money sat in Russia or in Africa somewhere or whatever, in some corrupt country, what value is it to you? Right? You can spend it there, but you really want to get the money out of the country and you want to wash it. And that's why Russia's is number one in the world for foreign capital out of its borders. Obviously, because the country's unstable. Putin's a dictator. If you fall out with him, then he can seize all your wealth, as he's done with other oligarchs that he's fallen out with. But we've given a pathway and a gateway for this dirty money. So let's just get off our moral high horses a bit. Anyway, do you think I'm talking nonsense? Comment below. I'll be interested to see what you've got to say. But thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me.